colors creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desire set my heart afire.
Men, women, mafiosos, and embers, welcome to Burning Questions, the show where it's not snitching, where it comes straight from the boss herself. So today's guest is a lovely and oh so frightening Lady Kei. So Lady Kei, would you kindly tell us about yourself?
Hello. Good evening to everyone. Hello, my name is Lady Kei, your Mafia Cat VTuber, and hope you're all having a wonderful evening and you're all comfortable in this segment. Crazy Casey. And yes, I am Lady Kei, a Mafia Cat, where I handle, I am the type of Mafia godfather where I don't really target the innocent but the corrupt and the people that are more shittier than I am. Basically, that kind of Mafia.
Fair enough. I suppose when people have to deal with, well, it's a really old saying, which is what was that saying go again? Oh right. The lesser of two evils, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I'm a bad person. I do criminal shit to criminals.
Would you mind like kindly delving deep, delving a bit deep into your histories of how you got to the top place of your familia?
Yes. All right. So my familia. So back then I was still, a street rat. I never knew my parents. I was kind of like abandoned I was kind of like abandoned until someone took us in. Only this person, this, type of foreman, this clothing shop man took in children as their slaves. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll work for you because just to have a roof over my head. Though it wasn't really a good place to be at because that person was still very torturous of the children. They never really thought that, oh, they're just children, but like, nah, you need to work for me if you want to live in this world. Until it came to the point where, I got fed up and, did a little bit of let's say he got greeted with an ice pick to his mouth then in one morning and I escaped. Yet I was left to survive on my own. And it came to the point where I thought I was going to die, but miracle of lo and behold, in my dying state, I was founded by a mafia man, a mafia leader, and he took me in. And from there, I worked hard with some friends I made along the way. And it came to the point where he retired, actually. He retired and gave me the title of the mafia leader. So through blood, sweat, and tears of taking care of whatever he wanted me to do, and taking into my own actions where it had good results, it gave me the position where I am at now.
Okay, cool. I see. So you really have some deep histories with the mafia culture. I noticed something similar to what happened to you and something that happened in the show JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, part 5 in particular, if I recall. Wherein that very thing does happen a bunch to some people. So I was wondering if you might have had other people that you've met in the familia who has a similar history wherein they were taken in as children but decided to like just stay in the familia to help progress it.
Oh yeah, I did meet like a few friends along the way. To right now, I did meet some of them along the way. I did meet some when they were also taken in there. But right now, I do have I have a family, or rather a crew with me who is also like my great friends. I do have some hold on. I have like few people at my hand, kind of like like right hand people where
Hey,
of course I
like
have like
your
the whole
lieutenants?
family. my top lieutenants. Like, we had the whole soldier thing, but I do have like 3 people under my supervision, or rather 3 powerful teammates I have, which are like, one of them is named one of them is a wolf. I mean a dog. A dog person. Sorry, I'm like rambling a bit. Well, like
It's cool.
yeah. So her name is Alex. So she's basically my secretary and keeps things, organized, because not gonna lie, the work of a mafia can get really messy. And we have my mortician, which is her name is Frankie, she's a bunny. So she's the one that takes care of the dead bodies and furthers investigations on the people that we eliminate. And then she also does the cleaning up the bodies, not in lie. And then my very quirky sniper or fighter of my crew is called CJ. And she's the bear. She's a little bear, like she's very happy-go-lucky. But when it comes to eliminating people, she does it one way or another, but just gets the job done. So those are the people I've stuck close with me since we were young. When we were all taken in by that my godfather.
Okay, I see. So most of your, well, I suppose all of your lieutenants are also fellow beastmen, right?
Yes, fellow
okay.
beast.
Okay, I see. Does this extend? I mean, sorry. How large is your family in the first place? Considering that these are your lieutenants, how big can we say that your direct family is? Like the people who you personally know in the family, is it something that's akin to like a small, like a school or something, or something much smaller, like just probably a dozen people?
Yeah, probably I like it when I'm able to keep my people in check, but not in a way like, I have to like really, I have to really be strict and be like, I want to keep an eye on all of you. It's more of like I only want a handful of people I want to trust. So basically, it's probably like just 10 people. We're like just around 10 people in the whole familia. But the more prominent ones right now are the ones that I have right now, which is Frankie, CJ, and Alex, who are my most prominent allies there. But I like it when my crew is just small, where it's like we are all like short-handed in staff, or like short-handed in man labor. But I like it when I'm able to trust everyone that I'm talking to. Like I can like rely on their loyalty when it comes to working with them.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, considering that in the business of like building a crime empire, you can't really, if somebody screws you over, you can't really turn to the police now, can you?
Yeah. Yeah, you really can't. It's more of like I'll take care of it. It's like I'll take care of it if you decide to betray me. And at some point, I'm more of a hands-on type of person. It's like I'm not the type of like mafia godfather is gonna be like, okay, you go do this, and I'll just sit back there and just smoke my cigarette and while I'm holding a cat. Nah, I also go out of the field to do whatever I need to do to achieve what I want.
Okay,
Want to work
I
as
see.
well. Yeah.
I can definitely respect those kinds of things. So anyway, we shall move on to the first burning question.
Oh,
So, do you own any businesses that may be considered like front businesses, or are you strictly working from a more of hands-off approach, wherein you only take in protection money, or both perhaps?
I do have a front business, but of course it's gonna be, I'm not gonna divulge what it is, or else
Fair enough.
you're not gonna be alive at the end of this interview. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I do have a forefront business that, when we're all bored, we usually all manage. When nothing's going on in the familia, anything crime stuff, we do that mundane business. And I can at least tell you, we have the best cookies in town.
Okay. Well, definitely there might be some people in chat who are itching to get some cookies, and they might end up in your territory.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you want a taste of my cookies, you better be prepared to have a dormitory at the basement of my home. No, I'm kidding, don't worry.
So do you also like charge protection money from local businesses though?
Oh no, I don't. I don't. Ironically, as much as I call my family a mafia, I don't. I only do it to people that deserve it, because like I said, I only deal with people, or I only get my hands dirty if I know there's a corrupt politician, corrupt police, corrupt, a far more brutish mafia that delves into our territory. Kind of like, I wouldn't say it as a hidden hero business, but it's more of like we just do a much better job than the actual people who say they are heroes. That's what
I mean, the police I know nearby kind of suck, so that makes sense. There are
Yep,
a lot.
yep.
There's a reason why, people hire just some local quote unquote heroes to help them do the work that the police can't do.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with what you're doing
Yep.
right now.
Yep. And we don't have to abide by the laws of, okay, this person deserves, you deserve to be offed in this world because you did a terrible thing. But, for heroes to be like, no, I'll just give you, jail time with the possibility of you being free in the world in a few years. I'm like, nah, dude. Nah, dude. In my eyes, you're like dead to me, literally.
That's like a lot of revenge stories from Hollywood nowadays.
Yep. Yep. We like doing a lot of John Wick. No, I'm kidding.
Yes. The
Kill
wick,
someone's
the wick,
dog, we're up there.
kill someone's dog, you kill their entire organization.
Yep. That's basically us.
Well, moving on, we have the next question, which is, what in your opinion is perhaps your main source of income? Because running a mafia empire probably wouldn't be cheap. I mean, unless you consider this your front business just being your only business, or have you diversified in more in other outlets?
Well, let's just say when a lot of billionaires don't really care about their in and outs of their money, we kind of, help them manage their own money by, taking some of it.
Okay.
Of
so
course, we do. Yeah, we do a
Sorry, go
background check of who's build. Yeah, it's okay. But of course, we do a lot of background checks on this person. It's like, okay, all right, guys, bet. Why is this person rich? Then we just study everything, and then we see an ounce of, forced labor and everything. All right, y'all are getting out while we take money from the people too. All right, y'all gonna be working for my businesses, for my little cookie business, and getting stuff on them. And of course, we also provide some type of budget to the people that they mistreat. So yeah,
Okay,
we
I see.
my main source of income is bankrupting corrupt companies.
Okay, I see. But I'm curious about the logistics of that, because not every, let's say, billionaire does keep their money in fiat currency, which is actual cash. So let's say, what kind of assets do you procure from them? Let's say, okay, a very generic thing is, let's say someone like a comic book character like Bruce Wayne. They own several hundred businesses, ranging from all sorts of things. So how would you perhaps take money from them if, let's say, Bruce Wayne engages in slave labor? How would you take money from them? Is it directly robbing their valuables, or do you procure certain things that you could possibly sell or such?
Well, one thing is that we kind of to make a scenery at some points. There's one thing we did to a company where it's oh, we found out they do a lot of inconsistent. They don't pay their employees right. They engage in gambling where they shouldn't be. we make sure we know all of that, and in a way that we can expose all of them, and then they get exposed to the media, they get arrested, and then that's when we'll start taking their belongings physically. Like, oh, we'll take their money first, and then we'll pretend that we're buying their enterprise, but it's just we just bought them using their own money and just changing it to like a throwaway away name when it's just really still my business at some point. Usually, and then I usually let those people that were mistreated to take over those businesses instead of us, since we still want a handful of people in our circle and all that shit.
Okay, do these people work for you, or do they work as a independent business who just happen to work for themselves?
Yeah, I mean they work in the right. Okay, so if there's no way for you guys to live a better life in this company, you're gonna own the company through my needs. Kind of like.
Okay, but they're not directly working under you anymore.
Yeah, they're not working under me anymore. So if anything happens to them, like for example, they did their own corrupt shit, they better know that I'm gonna be coming back for them and be like, yeah, now I give you a chance at second life, and then you're gonna abuse me like this. Now, or we're gonna take that back, and I'm gonna own that company again, and then give it to someone else who deserves it even.
Okay, I see that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, at least this will hopefully help some people get better, but we can only see what some people who didn't have power then has power. I've noticed a pattern wherein they don't exactly know how to handle it well.
Yep. Yeah. So it's kind of like it's like, for example, a little bit of a mundane here, where what is it? Hotel Hell or Kitchen Nightmares by Gordon Ramsay. Okay,
yes,
I'm gonna help you out. Yeah, right? Like, I'm gonna help you out, and then I'm gonna come back. All right, if you did well, okay, good on you. But if your company still sucks, then that's really on you. Okay.
Yeah, I remember watching a lot of those, like Gordon returns to an old place. Those were so. Some of those are just tragic, though.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's like some of them can't handle the change.
Yeah, they end up reverting back, and then and then Gordon goes, "No, you're doing the same thing I told you not to do."
Yep. And then the people that for example, Gordon's like, okay, I'll pay for this person's wage for like a few months, and then you'll just hear that, oh, they quit because of the mismanagement. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro.
Holy crap! There's so many stories of those.
Yep. In my case, I would yoink back the business I gave them.
I can see why.
Yep.
Well, I personally would not like to engage in those kinds of things because I cannot handle those.
Yeah.
I'm probably not. I should not be in a extensive managerial position. And yes, I pretty sure I can get easily corrupted once I see the cash flow coming in.
Oh yeah, it's very tempting. It's very tempting.
It's very very tempting. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It's very tempting. But when you're spending someone's dirty money, it's not that very guilting. Very
That's very true, because if this guy's a dick, he doesn't deserve the money. That's my justification for it.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh, we're gonna get targeted so badly.
Yep.
And anyway, let's move on to the next question. Has the demon that helped you fight against that oppressive dude, I don't know, oppressive guy from your childhood, has that demon aided in your ability to lead the familia? I mean, without using force, maybe giving you some kind of guidance.
Yeah, actually, Ombra back then, I was really afraid of her back then, Ombra, because I was really surprised that one day I was being tortured, and then suddenly I had blood in my hands. It turns out that she was the one that prompted me to actually murder that person through her hands, and I was like, no, I don't want to use very murderous tendencies like this all the time. And then it came to the point where she was the one that gave me the dark reality of the world. Like, nah, bro. Like, nah, girlie. If you want to survive in this world, you really need to get blood on your hands and stuff. But when it came to like morals, she was very debative of me of like, why are you helping people? It was a very hard. It was very hard for us, for the both of us, to like really adapt to each other's morals, even though in the end, it was hard for us to kind of like debate each other's morals in a way. Like she's very, aggressive and like, oh, just kill them if you know. But I'm like, nah, you really need to give them a chance. Especially if it's like someone that I think deserves a second chance. That is. But if it's like someone that I know it's like a dick, I'm like, all right, girl, we're gonna kill them together. But she has actually given me points on leading because she doesn't really divulge much on who she was back then, but she did say that I have led a large group of people in my world, so I will give you tips on how to keep them in check and to keep a close relationship with them. So right now, she's really like just sitting here pretty, just listening to this conversation, just probably rolling her eyes out of talking about the past. But me and her have gotten along over the days now. She doesn't bother me as much anymore, except when she just likes to mess with me when I'm drunk.
Fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. At least they will give you like some kind of guidance, kind of like what was that? Sorry, what was that again? All right, Avatar, basically. just somewhere in the back of your head.
she's like Avatar Roku in a sense.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, oh, you have to kill Fire Dirt Ozai, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to kill him. It's kind of
no,
like
please.
that, yeah. No, please. But probably in this case, I would probably kill Ozai if I was, if I was actually, I would kill Ozai.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, bitch, you fucking.
He's a dick. And, that's all you need to know.
You're a dick, yeah.
This person's a dick. Okay, death sentence.
Yep. You burn your own fire, bitch.
Okay. Next question is, what is your policy when dealing with rats? And I'm talking about the mafioso term of rats, not the rodents.
Like if they betray me and stuff?
Yeah, basically.
So in a way that, okay, all right. So of course I would, take them in, be like, hey, why did you betray me? Of course, I'm very casual about this, but it would be more intense. It's like, I will find out first why they betrayed me, and if I do, that's where I start to confront them, because I don't confront anyone if I don't have any solid proof on why I need to know why they did it before they even know before I confront them, rather. It's like, okay, if they decide to lie to me, okay, you're dead. But if you if they gave me the reason why they betrayed me, I'll probably be like, okay, if you think that this is the reason why you betrayed me, and you find something satisfying that you can't find in us, and maybe we can fix it. But if it's something very irreversible, like for example, this person betrayed me and it resulted in the death of one of my own, and one of my people, and oh yeah, you're gonna go to hell with them. That's how I do it. You want to betray me? Bye. But if it's in a way okay, you left me to deal with a bigger organization on my own because of what you're doing, I'm gonna be like, I'll handle this, we'll talk later. Of course, you're gonna be tied to a chair on why you did it, while I probably drown you and probably intimidate you into talking. Then we'll talk, we'll negotiate on how I'll deal with you. I'll probably exile them as a more minimum punishment, and then the worst is that I off them.
Okay, that makes sense. But do you have a probably specific way of how you want to do this? Because there has been some documented cases of some people who like to specialize, as much as I hate to say it, in ways to horribly kill their enemies. There's some who just take someone to the desert, shoots in the back of the head, be done with it. Others has been called the butcher, wherein they basically cut off every part of the body, then do that kind of thing. Some just like to do the good old hanging with a rope.
So you mean how I torture them? Well,
Yeah,
my
sure.
favorite part of torturing them is, well, it goes a bit of a little predominant side of handling it. Let them know their place, why they're rats in the first place under me. Give them a little bit of a nudge and edge until they fully submit and admit what they did. And then, if I feel like it, probably, oh god,
That sounds so lewd. That sounds so lewd.
Oh, gosh, it does. But it's one of the best ways to edge them into confessing to what
Can
they
we
did.
not use the term edging, please?
All right. What's a good way of? I don't know. Any other word of edging?
We don't need a word for it. We know exactly what we're talking about. So
yeah. That's to say, I know how to make them talk. There we go.
That sounds
I know
a lot
how to
better.
make them talk with my own way of I don't really like gore because sometimes I have to be the one questioning them if I see them being chopped up in front of me or being tortured, like that Outlast episode where they have to cut the fingers off. No, bro. No.
Ooh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. We're not in front of my salad. We're just gonna, probably slap them. I almost said the other term of slap. Slap them, punch them, and just probably also hit their soft spots. Because one thing I know what I like getting from my allies is also that I need to have an edge on their emotional side rather. I think that the family you're caring for, you're trying to provide for, would like this, blah blah blah, and then that's one other thing I get them to confess.
Yeah, I suppose. That makes sense.
Yep, but the other one is more prominent. Not gonna lie, yeah. The other one we talked about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're gonna talk about for example, unforgiving tortures, I would them in the face immediately, or akagami no kill it, where I just put their head, make a statement in one of the buildings, just pierce their head on at the top.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
Well, my preferred method. My preferred method when trying to get information out of some people, I try not to do super bloody things because getting blood off my clothes is a pain in the ass. The one thing I like doing though that's a lot easier is I take off their shirt, place it on their face, and I basically waterboard them with whatever liquids nearby.
I was almost about to say, oh, kinky.
No.
Oh wow, remove the clothes. I don't know if that's tortures or not. Goodness.
Some people might be into that.
I mean, they probably thank me for doing that to them. They'd probably be instead of getting information off them, like, oh, please do more. I'm like, what?
Okay. Okay. Actually, that reminds me of something. Are you familiar with the with that anime Interview with the Monster Girls?
Oh, sadly I'm not.
Okay. And I enjoy this anime specifically because I'm interviewing random people and about their life and such. But there was a scene there wherein a couple boys were making fun of a young succubi girl.
Oh wait, I think I know that scene. I've seen it in anime clips going around TikTok, but
okay,
cool.
Go
on. I might. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the chat who hasn't seen this, in the anime there was this one small succubi girl. She was being teased, being said the boys in her school were teasing her, telling her a bunch of lewd comments and how she might try to take over their minds with her sexual prowess and such.
Mm.
But what the girl didn't show is that she actually knows how to perform judo. So when one of the guys grabbed on her shoulder, she threw him down on the ground and then held him at what's basically an armbar, but where she's still standing up. Anyway, the
I think
girl
it's that scene. Yeah, I think he's. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's that scene that I saw.
the girl for the chat, the girls were like cheering her on while the guys were like saying please let him go. But then like slowly, if you like listen to what the guy was saying, he wasn't screaming please stop, he was saying please keep going. Please don't stop, please
It's
don't
that scene.
stop.
I remember. Yep. Please don't stop more, please. Yeah, I remember. Yep. It's that scene that I saw.
It just
Oh
weirded
god,
out
and then they were all like
everyone.
looking at him judgingly. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bruh. Oh my lord, I couldn't stop laughing after I saw that. Even though that the anime isn't as memorable as like other shows I've watched, that one scene just won it for me. Oh my lord, those writers are big brain writers right
Oh
there.
yeah. True.
But yeah, that when you're in the business of like hurting people, just be wary. Some of them might actually be into it.
Yep. That's one thing to get information out of them. If they like it, all right, okay. If they're gonna be submissive to it, all right, okay. Then, well, let's take advantage of this while judging them mentally.
we'll judge them while they're enjoying this.
Yep. It's like, all right, you like that? You like that? I'm gonna whip you, into submission, and then be like, oh, please more. I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, this is
Harder,
probably
please? Okay.
this is gonna probably piss off somebody somewhere, but I just gotta say, in like, just imagine like from any most cultures around the world had, but a lot of cultures around the world had slaves. One of those slaves has got to be a masochist at some point. Let's be honest.
God. Thank gosh, yeah.
Just in proportion, that's statistically possible. It's disturbing, but it's possible.
I mean, to be fair, some criminals do go through torturous devices and probably be like, I actually like this. The fuck, keep going.
It's like the thing about in old Roman times. If you did something bad, you will be flogged in public. What if that person has a combined masochism and also like public fetish?
Yep.
Oh, that's super freaking weird thinking about it.
It is goodness.
But well, we can't deny that's just what some people are into, and we can't judge. We will still judge though, but we can't fully judge.
I will just judge you mentally, just not vocally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Anyway, that's one conversation about rats. Next off, the next question.
From rats to torture devices.
Yes. Okay. Next question is, what kind of shady business does your familia engage in, or actively prohibits, perhaps? Like, since you are basically a familia, do you have some things that you do to supplement your, like, things you do often that allows you to make money, or things that you actively prohibit in your territory, perhaps?
I actively prohibit?
Yeah.
So one thing I actively prohibit is that, alright, as ironic as it sounds, I don't let them do drugs.
Okay, I think that's fine.
As much as as much as I want them always to be in their top performance, so I don't let them do drugs. I ironically prohibit them from doing so. Aside from the cookie business, like for example, if you want someone eliminated, yeah, sure, we can do it for you, but we don't do those protection things that you mentioned earlier. We just like, okay, if you want someone to be dead and we know that person is actually a corrupt person, all right, okay, we can make a quick buck and eliminate them for you.
Okay, I see. So you work in what's basically like a hitman business.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hitman business.
Okay. I suppose that works. That is one of the ways to make money. Do you personally get your hands dirty, or are you more of just the manager wherein somebody else does the dirty work?
Oh, I do it myself too. Yeah, I do it myself too. Because sometimes, it does harness my power even more. Because aside from being led by the demon inside me, which is called Umbra, I do try to use her abilities as well when it comes to it, so that in future moments where I'm dire situations where I'm surrounded by people, I can harness that power in control. So it's kind of like some of these businesses more of like businesses, or rather jobs, hitman jobs, like training for me rather. Like, okay, I'm gonna use that dark ability so that in the future I can like just harness it and control it perfectly and be able to use it. So
Okay,
yeah, I do get my hands dirty a lot.
what can Umbra do specifically? Like what is the range of her abilities?
She does do a lot of dark magic, and as well as she really does love using shadows as her weapon, where sometimes you'll be at a corner, I'll be cornered, but then she'll probably use like the shadows to her advantage and have some spikes come out of it and kill that person before they can even go near me. So darkness is mostly a big advantage for her to use. And then she doesn't like corrupting minds too. We're not gonna delve into that type of corruption,
Okay.
where it
Yeah.
involves 6-digit numbers.
Yes.
No. She does like corrupting their minds, where sometimes she like just digs her claw into someone and make them actually forcibly confess. Because sometimes we do have like tough nut jobs where they really don't want to speak their truth, and then I'm like, okay, I really need this information. Umbra Kei comes in, pierces their heart, and then she just starts corrupting them into telling the truth. And then she does have a great scythe weapon that she uses sometimes out of the shadows, or sometimes her own blood, to conjure up when needed. So things literally do get bloody because she does need it, and we need it to procure weapons when we need to kill someone. And Umbra does a lot of piercing into mind type of shit. Like, okay, I need to read your mind. Okay, I need my shadow to touch you, and I need to know what you're thinking of.
Okay, cool. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That sounds very similar to like Void Elementals where I'm at, but that's a whole different story for another day.
Yeah.
That sounds also. Are you aware of the video game Darkness? Because that sounds very similar, actually.
No.
Oh, okay. Actually, realizing right now, it's holy crap! I just realized it right now. What the
Yeah.
fuck? That is okay. I don't recall much of the plot, but what I do recall is that the main character, possessed by a demon, uses these powers to rise up to become the head of a mafia family.
Oh wow. What game is that?
What the hell? How did I just realize that now? How did I not realize this while I was writing these down? Okay. The name of the game is Darkness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the dude with long hair and 2 guns and stuff coming from his back. That's the guy.
Oh, okay. I might play this sometime.
Yes, I actually might also play that now.
Wait. I remember. Is this the one where he has two dark wolves behind him? Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I know what game I need to play next time.
You should definitely stream that.
Oh yeah, I will definitely do.
Oh wait, no, I just realized you can't stream it. There's this one scene that you're not allowed to show on Twitch.
Oh
Actually,
really?
it's not.
Ah,
it's actually.
shit.
It's not one scene. It's one level that takes place in a brothel.
Oh no! I can do that off stream, but goodness.
Just when he starts like walking down the hallway, just immediately exit the stream.
Alright, bye guys. This is the bye stream. Bye.
Oh my lord, that scene was graphic.
Yeah. Oh god, sad. There's none here in Steam.
What?
Darkness is not on
No,
Steam.
that's sad. Wait.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
unless it's
I
in
will.
Epic Games or something.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have
Let's
to hunt
see.
that down later.
Sure. So I'll definitely play this game.
Oh
Goodness.
yeah, that game was fun. It was really fun. You really felt OP being the main character. But anyway, yeah, the fact that having like these abilities can definitely help you like rise up through the ranks.
Yep.
Actually, in conjunction with the darkness thing, does Umbra have any like weaknesses?
It's more of like just she doesn't like it's not like she's allergic to the light. It's more of like, if you counter her using the light, yeah, she'll actually, like, you know, if she's gonna be encountering a paladin, a priest, she's gonna be much more than her dad is. Like, she's overthrown a few priests, exorcists, priests, and all that stuff. But if it's someone of a high caliber, of like a big paladin, she can't handle those. And I don't know,
cool.
maybe she's slowly growing a heart too, because she's like, you know, she's starting to care for me, maybe.
Okay, that's
Maybe.
nice. At least, maybe. We don't really know with these kind of things sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How does it feel going from a former terrorized stepdaughter, essentially, to having a city at the edge of your fingertips?
Oh my god. If you only knew, I also had a moment where I was almost also corrupt by the power of the tip of my fingers. But Umbra was ironically the one that stopped me from it. I was like, this is how I got weak in the first place. This is how I got overthrown in the first place. I was too thirsty for power, and I don't want you to happen to that. I don't want that to happen to you, because I'm technically in your body and I don't want it to happen to me again. So Umbra was the one that snapped me out of that, where I had all this power in my hands, where I felt very powerful, where I had everyone at the edge of my fingertips. Like, even though I worked for this with blood, sweat, and tears, the moment I knew for a fact that I was gonna be in a comfortable state where I know I can control people, it came to the point where I almost actually got rid of my own familia, because I was so corrupt that I just wanted everything I wanted everything to be under my fingertips, where I own everything. Like, no. Almost like, nope. You need to remember that these people went through blood and sweat and tears with you. You need to remember that you came from a very low place, and you fight for something, like, you know, you fight for something where you don't want people power tripping you to take over. No, we're not gonna go through down that. So it was like Umbra that put me back in my place. We're like, okay, all right, okay.
Okay, so she also served like as your guardian angel, essentially.
Yeah, ironically, oh my god, she's gonna be so
Yes.
mad at me. Ironically, she was the one that put me back in my place when I was starting to show signs of being a tyrant in my organization. She's like, bitch, no, she almost killed me at some point, even though she was also at the risk of killing herself in the process. It's like, bitch, if you're gonna turn into some stupid bitch again, like those politicians, then you might as not as well live. It's like, all right, okay. I get it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well,
So,
at least you were able to like learn from like corruptions, basically, like trying not to be like the people you hate, basically.
Yeah.
Well, it's what they say. It's like that one quote from Batman again, which is, you either die as a hero or live long enough to become a villain. Yeah.
See yourself as a villain. Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't go to that path.
Yeah, it's surprisingly iconic thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, moving on to the next question. When you took the throne as the head of the familia, what were some challenges you faced? Did you face issues like sexism, perhaps, or maybe people not thinking you're worthy of that position?
Oh yeah, it's more of that. I was not worthy of the position, because there were people that were more loyal to my former godfather, where they're like, why did she get the position where I've been working my ass off through all these years, and she's just this little girl he took in, and suddenly she's the one that gets the throne just because she showed more prowess and power and leadership. So it's more of like, it's that mentality where I've been here longer, I deserve the promotion. It's not the where it's not the it's not the sexism. No, it's more of like I worked here longer, that's why I deserve the thing. And safe to say is that person does not work for me anymore after his attempt at betraying me and turning me into the police, ironically, even though he's also part of the mafia.
Okay, fair
Yep.
enough. Yeah,
Yep.
there are some people who are just not that smart. Just
Yep.
honestly.
Mm-hmm. Because my godfather did took me around all of his connections, introducing me to everyone. So at some point, I did build some relationships with them. So being able to take over the mafia, the being able to take over the familia, it wasn't that of an issue trying to get them to follow me or get some favors from them. It's only just the people that were like, oh no, I've been here longer. She doesn't deserve to be in that position.
Okay, yeah, I see how that can be an issue for some people.
Yeah,
But at least now you are mostly uncontested, right?
yeah, uncontested. Yeah,
Okay,
mostly
that's good.
uncontested.
Okay, that's good at least. At least some people like still respect the wishes of the old boss, basically.
Yep, yep.
Speaking of the old boss, though, why do you reckon your godfather, the godfather, retire?
Yeah, the Godfather. He was very unclear as well on why he retired. He just told me one day, through a letter actually, through a letter, because one day I was going over to his office and then he was just literally gone, and then he just left me this big suitcase where it explains everything. He left me a letter where it's like, okay, you're gonna take over the familia now. I've told every one of my connections you are now going to be the new boss. Here are the papers of the businesses that I own. You need to care for all of them, blah blah blah. And he was really not clear on why he retired. He's like, I've set a new path for myself where I need to do something for your sake. So basically, he retired for my sake, which I still don't know why, and I'm still figuring it out. But if he set me on this path, I have to follow it, and whatever he needs to do, I just support it, basically.
Okay, I suppose that makes a lot of sense because
Mhm.
well, he does have the most power and he has the most say, and yeah, he was basically your father figure growing up, right?
Yeah, he really was my father figure.
Okay, that's good to know. The side note, I am just seeing so much references to JoJo.
Ironically, I have never watched a single anime
You have
of
not
JoJo.
watched JoJo? Okay.
No. I mean, I sadly, as much sad as it is, I do have a lot of animes that I want to watch, but my attention span doesn't allow it anymore unless I
That's
have to
fair.
watch it with someone.
I can relate, but yeah,
Yeah.
but basically, I have heard the very similar thing to that. We're in the what was that? Sorry, one of the characters looked up, getting his crap kicked in until this kid saved a mafioso from an issue or whatever. From other like other mafiosos. This kid, this after the mafioso heard about this, suddenly like every guy who used to beat the crap out of the kid, like just either showed him respect or just disappeared.
Oh no. Yeah.
Then like there was like he passed by the ice cream shop which he could never go to because his dad is an a-hole and his mom is a very unavailable mother. But suddenly this guy was like giving him free ice cream out of nowhere. It's very heartwarming, but also kind of fucked if you think about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
That's true.
it's still nice to know that you're able to like rise up from what was your like your life before.
Yeah, so the tough upbringing of life, where I had to
Yeah.
survive on whatever I saw in the streets.
Exactly.
Yep.
Curiously though, do you think Umbra might have had a hand in making the Godfather retire? Maybe some kind of magic whatever's or curse or just some minor influences so that she or you could rise up to the occasion and become the new Godfather, which is why it's all of a sudden? Because it sounds kind of sus if you think about it.
Yeah, well, oh god. I mean, I've tried talking to her about it, but she just, shuts the fuck up. shuts me the fuck up. I
Okay.
mean, there was an incident, I think, where it was very coincidental that because on the day actually when on the day where I killed that foreman or that
Mhm.
foreman that took me in for slave labor, the day
Yeah.
I killed him and the day I unleashed Ombra, that's where I found that's where my mafia godfather found me. And that's what, okay, it's probably a crazy coincidence,
Yeah.
but at some point where sometimes there were moments where Ombra was about to take over. There was where my mafia godfather would take over and be like, all right, calm down, don't delve into much into Ombra's abilities. He was aware of Ombra's existence, but just he's the only one in the whole familia that knows about him. That knows about her. And then there are times that Ombra will like just whisper to me, your godfather is like so weird. It's like, why does he know my existence when I've concealed my spiritual, presence, and yet he knows me to
Bruh.
me. Maybe a part of me was like, maybe he left because he wanted to know some answers why Ombra is in my existence, or he's probably trying to think of a way to probably get rid of her. Hopefully not, because
Ombra is
Ombra and I
useful.
have very Ombra is useful, and as much as we make each other, we get sick of each other, we have grown into each other where we if one is bound to die, where we're like, all right, we can't, you're the only way you're dying is by my own hand, bitch, not someone else's. And
That's
that kind
fair.
of that kind of connection there. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that basically Umbra is your stand.
Yeah.
Oh
my
my
god. Yeah.
God.
I'm aware of Stan, so yeah. Umbra is my stand, even though she has revealed to herself that she is someone that doesn't like to be ordered around, but here she is.
She's
doing
basically
stuff
your
I request
stand,
her
let's
to
be
do.
honest.
She is gonna kill me later in this interview.
Lady Kei, stand user, question mark. That's gonna be the name of this
Yup.
clip now.
Oh yep, Lady K stand user.
but yeah, it seems like perhaps Umbra has had a hand in like many events in your life, all the way from being able to fight back for your survival, all the way to
Yeah.
becoming
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
Lady Godfather.
Godfather.
Yeah.
Lady Godfather. Ironically, I should be called the Godmother, but someone gave me the nickname of the Godfather too. But so yeah.
Okay, I suppose that works. That is like the title for
Yeah.
that is usually the title for the like leaders of various organizations anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on to the next question. What happened to your friend that you used to work with when you were kids? Because I noticed that you didn't talk about them that much after both of you were adopted.
Mm. Well, after I saved them from being tortured by one of the foremans of by the foreman.
Yeah.
And I realized that I literally became a murderer in front of them. I told them to run away because I don't want them to get involved with me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they offered that, even though my supposed godfather that time was like, my godfather was like, okay, I'll also take her in, but I'm like, no, I don't want her to be involved in this situation anymore, so please just run away. The only thing I requested him is like, please just give her the money or put her in a place where she can live peacefully.
Okay, I see. So so basically you don't really do much in their life anymore, huh?
Yeah. I completely disappeared from their life, and I don't want to be involved in it any other way. Not because I don't want to meet her again, but it's because I just want her to keep her safe from me. Knowing that I am now part of a criminal organization, that's all the more reason why I don't want her to be involved with me, or at least know me. But I do
Okay,
keep
yeah.
tabs on her every once in a while if she's safe.
Okay, that's good to know. At least there's still some. At least this person is still living that's basically a normal life.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
moving
I
on to
mean, from
the
what I know now, they're doing good in their college, in their university. They have a good job and everything. Yeah.
okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
Well, moving on to the next question. Did you have how do you say this? Did you have to deal with any assassination attempts, like somebody from a rival familia, perhaps somebody who wanted to like take you down?
Oh, that's like a bread and butter for me. Not gonna lie.
So it happens
A
often.
lot of them. A lot of yeah. It's more of
Ah,
like it's not because they see me as a threat, of course, but it's more of like it's a battle of territory. Not gonna lie. It's like yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like it's like a more brutal version of Monopoly.
I mean,
Oh,
it kind of is
yeah.
generally speaking, if you think about it.
Yeah. So there's like for example, there's like a business that we want to own because the location is very vital for information. It turns out that the other rival is also thinking the same thing, so it starts to have like this kind of battle where I'm like, all right, you better get your hands off this territory because it's mine. But sometimes, but it always ends up in bloody murder, or sometimes if both of us come to a certain agreement, we'll be like, all right, fine, we'll get into a joint ownership of this company, but you gotta keep your hands off my business and all that shit, because we're both trying to if I find out that the rival organization has the same morals as me, or like the same rather same goals as me, where we just the only thing we really do is just overthrow the government, or like overthrow anything, like like we just want to keep things rather just keep the corruption out, blah blah. All right, fine, we'll come to an agreement, and by miracle we'll also come into an alliance, to a written alliance. We're like, okay, we're gonna help each other out, and then we just avoid conflict of interest and all that shit. Yeah, where we will avoid conflict. And if you don't touch my territory, I won't touch yours. But if there's an unclaimed territory, dibs on that. Bye. Dibs on that first. Whoever dibs it first, we're not gonna fight over it anymore. Whoever sets their eyes on it first, then we're gonna So it's like, yeah, it really is like Monopoly. Whoever is the first one there gets to own it or buy it.
Yeah, that definitely makes the most sense.
Yeah.
That is a real thing which a lot of like crime lords do have to deal with, which is other crime lords, which is, I suppose, which could be considered a bigger threat compared to other, well, I mean, compared to the government, because let's be honest, in some cases the government just doesn't want to touch that shit unless like it gets escalated too much.
Yep. Where it came to the point where it's broadcasted, that's where the government pops in. But if it's like, for example, it's an underworld happening, they don't really want to delve into that.
Okay, actually, this brought something up. This actually just came back to mind when you were talking about like alliances. Have you played the game Empire of Sin?
I've only heard about it, but I have no idea what it is. I've only like seen some friends play it, but
okay, it is basically just a mafia simulator, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
it's a strategy game wherein the fighting is like XCOM, wherein you have to use cover, but it's also like a strategy game, and by the means of like it's set in the prohibition era of the US, wherein a lot of alcohol was banned. So your whole thing is that you're this new up and coming like gangster, and you have to like start building up your empire. You can do this by, well, what you said, which is forming alliances, forming non-aggression pacts, and also breaking those non-aggression pacts. I played this game and it was definitely fun. I feel like it would be a game that you might feel very at home with, if I should say so.
All right, I'll try it out.
Although I have to admit the game is very. It can get a bit boring after a while, but that's just for you to decide, and for the people in chat who might want to test out this game.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably check it out, but I probably won't like sweat on it in a way, because Yeah.
Yeah. I only played it once and I got bored. I had fun, but I got bored after a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, still the being able to at least somewhat experience like having to deal with people you can't trust, having to deal with
Mhm.
assassination attempts, dealing with with assassinating someone, all of those all just make stuff just feels like a good way. Well, not it's not great. It's still fucking terrible, but
Yeah.
it's a nice experience to have like a thought of like thinking about like what can lead to what and how to not piss
Mhm.
off your
Mhm.
competitors too
Oh
much at
yeah. Oh
least.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Actually, I was
So it's,
wondering what
it's
is
a tough game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to like bring up what are your views on other, let's say, the other like crime families, and what if they do something that you're against? Do you just deal with them like how you deal with the business people, or do you at least look at your other options of how to deal with them in a non-aggressive way, or you just deal with them like the politicians? I mean,
I deal with them like in a non-aggressive way. I still do the whole expo. I will. It's kind of hard to do the expose thing because we do the same thing as they do.
yeah,
But in some way, when we do gather information, where we're all like for example, oh, we find out that they're doing human trafficking. What we do is that we cut off their sources. That's what we do. And then it's something that they can't return to. Like, for example, if I cut off the resources on how they get their human trafficking, or for example, I buy out the club where they're getting the girls, they won't be able to do anything about it. And if they do actually attempt to, burn down the place, oh, I don't want you to own this, and I'm gonna kill this place, all that stuff. That's where we'll deal with it. That's where we'll get our hands dirty and start having an all-out war on them. We cut off the resources first, and if they react aggressively, and that's where we do our part. Or if they decide to be like, all right, okay, I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to deal with this or crime organization. Let's just give them what they need, and then just find another way of resources. And I could tell that they don't like what we're doing. Let's just get off their high hole and go about our own business.
okay, I see. That makes a lot of sense. At least it's not like it's probably better to not confront them directly because that might just lead to more bloodshed,
Oh yeah.
essentially.
Because we still need to remember that we are s- we we're not exactly a very big organization. Since I only just have a really handful of people with me, I don't want to jeopardize their lives. Like, for example, they all decide to like just gang up on us and take
Oh
take us
yeah,
out one by one. I mean, handling them on my own is fine, but because I have a dark spirit with me. But if I'm gonna be
yeah.
but I don't want my other allies to deal with them. Like, for example, if we're all, I'd probably like just be the guys, get out of here. I'll handle them. I don't want them to go through that kind of situation where they're facing death, facing death's gate. Anyway. So in a way,
Okay,
I have to protect them too.
okay, cool. That makes sense. Um, moving on to the next question, I was wondering, does Umbra have a certain control over reactions besides that first time it happened with the foreman? Or or does she like have any influence over the things you do besides of course the like advice giving?
Oh yeah, she's kind of like, she doesn't influence my emotions because she did have that philosophy where you have to grow on your own as emotionally as well, where you have to be the one to deal with it. I'm not gonna keep holding your hand at controlling your anger. I'm not gonna keep holding your hand but I will be nudging you here and there on whatever you're doing is wrong, whatever you're doing is right. It's more of like she's like the Jiminy Cricket. That's just evil.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
It's
That
just
sounds.
demon.
I think calling her
Yeah.
crickets probably isn't the best idea though.
She's probably like gonna poke me for that. Gonna poke me. That's what she's-
Just your local advice giver.
yeah, the local advice.
Very, very local.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, next up is, do you have a signature way of dealing with people who has offended you? Something that's like iconic to you personally, that that you do to people who has like trespass against you?
So I do give them scratches on the backs as if like, one of those horror movies where
That sounds kinky.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I know they like it, I switch my options where I'm gonna be like, all right. Like, all right, I think you like that. Never mind. I'll probably like just put a bullet to your head. It's either they get tortured or die.
I suppose that's the two options. If they like it, they die. If they don't like it, they get tortured. Close enough.
Yep. So
Like you personally, or they use Umbra to do it?
well, sometimes I can like I ask Umbra, can I use her claws, and then just give me her claws. She'll like conjure up the claws on my hand, and I'm like, all right, okay, you can use my claws, and then just scratch their back, just give a statement. I'm like, all right, keep messing with me, and I'm gonna put a whole scratch to your face. That's one of the things that I do. Yeah, but if they like it,
Yeah.
I either use my actual, my wingman, shoot them on the
Your
face.
revolver. Okay.
Yep, my revolver. Yeah. Goodness, what the fuck?
Playing
bro?
too much Apex, huh?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the other names of what guns they're supposed to be called. I just call them wingman or R45 P2020. Goodness, I just grab a gun and like, what the fuck, bro?
Grab a gun, pull the trigger. That's
pull the
that's
trigger,
the main like thing to do with it. Anyway, moving on to the next question. Have you had to deal with people? I mean, with other crime lords encroaching on your territory? I've noticed a pattern in much crime around the world and other universes, that when there is a change in leadership, some rival bosses like to test the waters and encroach on their enemies' territory. So have you had to deal with something like this?
Oh yeah, the moment I became the crime lord, knowing that when it spread around that my godfather had now retired, everyone was up my ass that whole time, and I had to prove myself so many times that I deserve to be in the position. Or some of them will be like, I'm gonna steal your godfather's assets because his leader, you can't defend this property anymore, or you can't have this anymore because you can't lead like what he did, so I'm gonna take it. They underestimated me back then, but here I am now, still owning those businesses, and probably was able to take over when they tried to. Like, I don't know, if you want to yoink out one of my businesses, I'm gonna yoink out yours first, and you have nothing to do with it. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. At least at least you're able to find a way to deal with them, though.
Yeah.
So are these let's say, are these enemies of yours, or at least at the time, still alive, or did you potentially take over their territories now?
I took over their territories, and some of them are already 6 feet under.
Okay, that's a very direct approach.
Yeah. Depending on the severity of the damages they did to my family, they're either 6 feet underground, or let's say
Sleeping with
let's
the
see how
fishes.
Thanos did it. No, yeah.
Okay, well,
You
moving on
reduce them to ashes.
reduce them to ashes,
Yeah.
just burn them away. At least there's no evidence for that.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Do you have a dedicated hit crew or hitman to take care of certain problems?
Oh yeah, that's my ally CJ. Like, for example, if I'm too busy, she does the work. She has a very unique way of dealing with it. Like, she's a little bit of a crackhead sometimes, like me, but she does get the job done. Surprisingly, not getting caught. Because sometimes when people underestimate someone that's very quirky, that looks like doesn't know what they're doing, that's where they put their guard down, and that's where she starts her base of attack. We're like, okay, you started to underestimate me. Alright, boom, and it did. She comes back with me, blood on her face, bringing me Starbucks along the way. I'm like, what
Nice.
the fuck, bro? We went into Starbucks with blood on your face? They thought it was ketchup. Like, alright, okay, fair enough. Okay, thank you for the hot chocolate.
I suppose that does happen when some people tend to be a bit more messy.
Yeah. Yeah. But if, for example, if you need to be more incognito where we have to be like far away, I do have my mortician is also a really good sniper, which is she's Frankie. She also does it too.
Okay, I see.
For example, we just locate the person, she brings out the sniper rifle out of the window, like probably put on that 8 times HCOG, like what you see in Apex at golden, the
Yeah,
10
the golden
times.
sight.
Yeah. Yeah, the golden sight, and she's like, boom, and then you're like, you killed him? Yeah. Alright, okay. Time
Done.
to watch the next movie. Yep. Alright, time
Someone's
to
next.
unpause the movie.
I suppose that
Sometimes
just
we
makes
just
the most.
chilling.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense, I suppose.
Mm.
It's very direct, at least.
Yeah, very direct.
Okay, moving on
And
to.
yeah.
Sorry, you're saying?
She modded her gun where it won't stick out where it came from. So it's not like the charge rifle where you'll know where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of like the longbow. Yeah, it's more of like the longbow at some point, or sentinel.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
it's
it
just
doesn't leave a
okay,
trail.
okay. So it
Mhm.
really just meant for like stealth things, huh?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. Moving on to the next question. In your city, are you working with or against the police? I've seen some cases wherein the police are all but avoided, and other cases wherein the whole precinct is full of dirty cops who work for the local mob. So which one is it in your case?
We stay away from the cops because I can never trust a cop that can be bought by dirty mobs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, yeah. We stay away from them. And ironically, the only person that's on the side of justice is my significant other. That's it. And he's dead. He's a ghost. So
Fair
it
enough.
doesn't take he's part of being a cop and all that stuff. He's a detective too. So that's really the only contact we've had when it comes to the police and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay then. Well, that makes sense considering being a crime
Yeah.
lord. Well, moving on to the next question. Have you expanded on your predecessor's criminal empire, or are you too busy maintaining the peace of where you're at right now and just satisfied with what's going on right now? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're satisfied with where we are, and then we only act upon if we need to. Like for example, if we're being being pressured by a rival crime lord that wants us down, that's where we all right, we need to make a move. But if there's nothing threatening our family, we just stay put and just maintain the peace of our family. Because as much as possible, as much as this work is giving us the putting food on our table, we don't want to disrupt that anymore.
Okay, that makes sense.
We are, yeah.
That makes sense. So you are still doing jobs and to help the people, but you no longer try to expand beyond reaches.
Yeah, we only do it when provoked. Like for example, they want to take our territory. No, we're gonna take yours and keep mine. That's it.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's more of we're more of a defensive type of mafia. Not really super aggressive. Yeah.
Not trying to attack other things and just trying to be more passive, I suppose. Also.
Oh yeah. It's like if you're not gonna delve into our business, I'm not gonna delve into yours. That's it.
Okay. Well, we're already reaching on the last couple questions.
Oh.
So next question is: charity is always a way to win the will of the people. And when winning the will of the people, they can serve to be perhaps a type of political shield. So I was wondering, what have you done as a way to win the favor of the locals, perhaps?
Oh, and that's where for example, we catch word that for example, say, a foster care or an orphanage or anything, they're like, okay, give us give us kids, we want to use them for slave labor and all that stuff. If we catch wind of that, we're gonna be like, I am going to protect your orphanage until these goons are rid of, or stay away from your organization, or like your foster home. And that's where we build the trust with them. We're like, okay, they know we have their back. Because one thing that I hate more is that when these organizations do human trafficking to young kids, I'm like, no, you're not gonna make them go through what I went through. I'm gonna stop you right there and possibly blow your head off if you ever think of taking these kids to whatever stupid or corrupt thing you ever want to do with them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually, you haven't really described your city in much detail before. Would you kind of like tell us like what kind of city are you ruling from nowadays?
Oh, so the city with
Yeah, just continue. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's okay. So the city we're like currently ruling right now is, let's say it's almost like the setting of Arcane in a way. It's just that there is literally an underworld where it's really a fight for power. Like, for example, if you've been born rich, you're already rich. And if you're unfortunately born poor, you're unfortunately poor in that sense. So it's really a fight for class in this type of city where really corruption is a bad thing. That's why I chose this path to, this path where I have to be the one to step up to, fight for those that are unfortunate against those greedy people up there. And well, in terms of, that's like the society, construct of it. But if example, but when it comes to like, appearance of it, it's a beautiful modern city. Say for the fact for the dirty politics, the dirty parts of it, it still has, it has its good modern, somewhat futuristic, kind of like the whole city of Arcane. It's just not very reliant on machines yet. It's not to the point where everything is reliant on machines. But it's still kind of like, the 20 like the current time we have now in 2022, where it's like, okay, everything's high tech, but everything is still in a way not technology takeover. It's kind of like, one of those Star Wars things. Is that what I'm supposed to call it? Like, it's not really cyber. It's not really a cyber setting. Yeah, it's still a modern city in a way. It's just that
Okay, so it's a fairly modern city with some magical elements.
Yeah.
Is it somewhat?
Yeah, with magical elements.
Perhaps,
yeah, because
like,
they're the basement here. Yeah.
Okay, is it potentially somewhat how should I say, steampunk perhaps? No, not necessarily.
Modern, not like super steampunk like Arcane. It's just that the setting of the class in Arcane, the social construct of it, where that's just the only similar thing of it, where there's an underworld and then the upper world. That is, in terms of like aesthetic, it's kind of like when you think, I'm trying to think of an anime or at least a game that's kind of like it.
Cyberpunk.
Huh?
Cyberpunk.
Nah. We don't have artificial genitals.
Nice.
We don't have artificial. Oh gosh. I don't know if you're familiar with the show Ruby, but it's kind of similar to that.
I'm very familiar with the show Ruby.
Yeah. It's kind of that setting actually. It's kind of that setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So it's like the modern day life in a fantasy setting then.
Yeah. Okay, but going off a bit of a tangent here, did you watch the new anime though?
I have seen it. I have seen people talking about it. I have not watched it.
Oh god, if you're gonna like give my opinion on it, oh god, I've been watching that show ever since the trailer, and I started with the trailers, and I have to say, oh my god, the pacing is much better. I'm just gonna say that it's much better. The anime is much better. It gave every fighting scene justice, just as how we first saw it in the first thing. Like, anyway, but yeah.
I should probably watch
so
that.
let's just say, yeah, you should. It's already out. So
I know it's out, but I haven't had the time to do that yet.
Yeah, because the first three. Yeah, it's 1 hour. It's an hour.
What? Each episode an hour now?
Yeah. It's
Oh my
it's not
Lord.
on each episode. It's like it's episode 1 to 3, and it's an hour.
Ah, so like okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it's not like before where like each episode's like freaking 5 minutes only.
Yeah. They were good at squeezing some of the elements from volume 1 in. The pacing is good. And they changed a lot on how they told the story.
Okay, I think I'll check it
Yeah.
out then because
Yeah.
I'm one of those people who didn't really have an issue with with the first Ruby though. Like I mean like generally.
Oh, yeah.
I never had an issue with like anything in Ruby. I just got bored of it. That's the only reason why I stopped watching it. But for the most part, I did still like basically enjoy like most of it. The action, the
Oh, yeah.
characters. I cried when Pyrrha died.
Oh yeah. And I'm
Oh
hoping.
no, we're gonna
And
see
I'm
her die
hoping they
again.
give her. Oh, I'm like, oh my god, I don't want Pierre to die twice. The fuck.
Technically speaking, she died 3 times. Technically speaking, she died again in Ruby Chibi.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I remember that. Oh god, goodness.
That was a weird ass show.
It wa-
Though.
yeah.
I loved it. I love that show.
I love that. Same. Though they really did take out a lot of jokes in that. It's not like they took out the comedy. It's more of like you know unnecessary stuff when it's unnecessary in a show. But they took that out in the anime. That's what the nice part about it.
Fair enough. Did they keep the okay? I don't care. I just want to like ask this one part, even though it's a bit of a spoiler. Did they keep the
It's
food
okay.
fight scene?
Oh, we haven't gone to that part yet because we were reacting to it, and funnily enough, we've only been 20 minutes in. We keep pausing it to give our own insights when we're doing the reaction video, so we haven't gone to that part yet.
You haven't
we
watched
finished
all of
until
it? Okay.
Yeah, so we had because he sleeps so early, so we couldn't finish it. He was asleep at 9:30. That's why I told you like we were wrapping it up, but we still had like 20 more minutes of footage there. I think we stopped at the 42-minute mark. Yeah, we finished at the 42-minute mark, so I have to like keep myself from watching it all the way. We stopped when they finally announced the teams after they fought the Nevermore and the Scorpion. That's where we stopped. So we haven't delved into the part where I think if
Okay.
there was a fight scene or not.
Okay, I will get there eventually. Hopefully, I'll also be able
Yeah.
to watch it very soon. But I am still gonna watch. I'm still gonna watch. Freaking what's it called? Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
haven't watched it yet. It's like it's a horror game.
What?
It's like a horror movie, you know.
oh yeah, I heard about that because of the director though. I love the director, freaking Sam Raimi.
Oh wait, I have heard of Sam Raimi before.
He's the guy who directed the first Spider-Man movie
Oh, I see.
with Tobey
I see.
Maguire. With Tobey.
The one with Tobey Maguire, yeah.
Yes, but the reason why I love him is not because
They
of the
did Evil
Spider-Man
Dead.
movie. But yes, that's why.
did
That's why.
Evil
That's
Dead,
why I
yeah.
love him. I bought the game recently because I heard they like took so many influences and holy crap,
Oh, good.
the entire game is just like one big like
Yeah.
Sam Raimi reference. Holy crap, the game is good.
It's cool.
But you
they
cannot.
did Drag Me to Hell too. That's cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Don't
But-
breathe and then Oma. Oh.
But, if you're gonna play the game Evil Dead, play it with friends because if you try playing it with like strangers, you are not gonna find a match.
Oh shit. Okay, alright.
At least not as a hero. So you only find a match as a villain, and being the villain isn't that fun. Playing with randos.
Oh, so you can play it as a villain. That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
you play as the evil. Yeah, it's hella weird. Anyway, going back, we have 3 more questions. Next one.
Okay.
Have you ever dragged a horse's head and put it into someone's bed as a way of intimidation?
Not a horse's head though. Not a horse's head. It's more of like a pig's head.
I suppose I is
You don't see
lighter.
You don't see a lot of horses in our. You don't see a lot of horses in the city. Not gonna lie.
That is true. That is very
I
true.
mean, if we're gonna talk about like, for example, a horse, it's not a horse's head. The other head, if you know what I'm talking about.
What? Okay, I know what you're talking about, but what?
If even though we have intimidation, I feel like I just gave them something that they probably wanted for their whole life.
Oh, that is weird. Okay, but I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, in the grown state, that's how we.
That would be very intimidating if you think about it.
Yeah. But then again, if it's someone else's fantasy, who am I to vocally judge?
True. Well, we
Mm.
have what's essentially the last question.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard many things here and there about a certain PI who may or may not leave hints for possible hot drops or working on investigating internal affairs from an outside perspective from within the familia. What I want to ask is your relationship with a certain PI for business or for pleasure?
Well, you could say the latter because well, technically he isn't part of the police, and you know, the
But he
more
is still a
if
PI
he
though.
was huh?
But he is still a PI though.
Well, he's dead, so he can't really like work with someone because
Fair
no one
enough.
sees him. The only
Fair
reason
enough.
why I was able to grow a relationship with her is because it's actually because of Umbra, because she's a ghost and she's technically a ghost entity within me. So I technically have a third eye. That's why I'm able to like, you know, see him.
Okay.
He did mention that he can make himself tangible for other people to see, but he only does it to people he's really he only does it when he wants to. But yeah, he did say that he did get killed because of his partner, so that's something that you know he that's something probably he himself might delve into.
Okay.
In terms of like in our relationship, it never really got in the way. It's more of like he's very supportive of me. Ironically, like one day I'll be coming home from work and he will like, oh, welcome back, darling, and I just have blood on my face and like, oh yeah, I did good. Do you want for dinner? You want me to warm up a bath for you? So it's not an issue. My type of work is not an issue to him, ironically, because apart from him being dead,
Yeah.
I actually do help him find out. I actually do help him find out about his the one that actually killed him, and you know, yeah. Ironically, the first time we met is because of him looking for me.
Oh.
He was looking for me. Yeah, he heard about my name and he's like, I want to investigate this. I want to investigate this certain mafia who has, you know, rumors about a certain demon inside of her. So I want to, you know, do that and stuff.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. So what you're saying here is that Umbra is a third wheel.
Yeah. She hates it when, you know, of course, whenever me and him do that, you know, stuff couples do at night, she hates it. She hates it. She just grows into it. I'm like, what the fuck, girl? I'm like, what the fuck?
She's
And then
just
sometimes she
watching
would
the corner.
criticize. Yeah, just like just watching in the corner. Sometimes she tries to cover her ears, but you know she technically can't since she is an entity. Sometimes she just makes fun of it. Sometimes, like the next day, she'll be like, "Dude, both of you were terrible." Like the fuck, bro. My goodness, stop being in our business, girl. Like I don't have a choice now, do I? Oh goodness.
Okay,
Yeah.
well at least we have established what kind of relationship you have with Umbra and this PI, of course.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah. Okay, for this actual last thing, it's not really a question but more of an observation.
Mm-hmm.
After looking through all of the evidence I was provided, I realized something. There is something very, very similar between you and a certain person that I find amusing.
Mm-hmm.
This person is, of course, Cinderella.
Oh.
Let's look at the facts. You had what's essentially an evil step foreman. An
Yeah.
evil step foreman. You were saved by a certain somebody, and now you currently have your fairy godmother or Umbra to watch
Very
your
God-
back,
yeah,
who
yeah,
is guiding you
Umbra.
in many magical ways. So
Yep.
you're essentially fucked up Cinderella, fucked up mafia Cinderella.
Fuck the mafia Cinderella. That's it. Yeah. The only difference is here is that the certain PI didn't go around the whole city trying to look for a missing
True.
shoe that fits anyone. Yeah.
That's true. Then again, the only reason why Cinderella met Prince, whatever the fuck his name is, was
Prince
because of
Eric?
her magic.
Yeah, technically it was because of fairy godmother's magic, and then in this case it was because Umbra was a ghostly entity that was able to give me third eye abilities that got me to see that ghost.
So yeah, you're basically Mafia Cinderella now.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm Mafia Cinderella. Holy shit. I gotta be home before 12 midnight. Goodness. Like, the
Well,
fuck? I work after 12 midnight. The fuck you mean?
yeah,
Fuck you mean I have to be
same.
home 12
Same.
midnight?
Well, anyway, that has been burning questions. What can you say about your time on the show, Lady Kei?
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, it was fun because it did give me like the chance to be able to delve into whatever my life is. Because back then, as much as I have a lot of other fellow, an Oni friend, a dragon friend. We don't really delve much into what our lives are going on because the only thing we really care about is getting champion in Apex.
Yeah.
And other games and stuff. Yeah, so it did give me. It was fun being able to actually talk about my lore and
Yeah.
delving into Umbra actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
that-
rarely bring her out. Mhm.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I don't really think you can bring out a demon while you're playing a video game online.
There are times I have actually brought up. I think I played. I knew I was gonna be irritated playing Elden Ring, so I made Umbra play it.
Oh, you played Elden Ring? How was that?
Yeah. Oh god, oh my god, she practically she threw the controller at me. Don't make me play this game again. And ever since I haven't played Elden Ring.
Well, if you need some help, you can always invite me to help help you slay whatever things you have in front of you.
Oh yeah, I would love that because there was like this one part where I knew I was gonna do it all over again. I'm like, bitch, no, I'm not gonna be that grindy. I have other things to play.
Fair enough. I'm pretty sure like some people have noticed like before I start burning questions for like 2-3 weeks. Actually, no, that's more than a month already. For like basically a whole month, I just stream nothing but Elden Ring and sometimes Apex when I had to like do the special events, but mostly Elden Ring.
Oh,
Oh yeah, but yeah, I got good at it eventually. But yeah, I'm glad you're able to have fun, show off Umbra for once. Do you have any final remarks regarding your time here in Burning Question or things you want to say to the chat?
Oh, I mean, I'm not really like good with words and all that stuff, but I am very grateful that you invited me here and gave me this chance to participate in this amazing segment and be able to talk about myself more and in a way where I can be more insightful to my story. And it was practically I had a great time here.
Okay,
Had a great time
good.
here. Yeah,
That's
the
very
questions are very mind. It challenged my mind to think.
good. Okay, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed your time here. And to everyone in chat, please look up Lady Kei because she'll be streaming in roughly 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, everyone, I hope you all had a great time, and I will see you all next week with a new VTuber who we're gonna interview and dive deep into their lore. I am still not sure at the moment who could it be, but when I do, you guys will be the first to know. So anyway, everyone, Lady Kei,
Awesome.
thank you for coming on to Burning Questions.
Thank you for inviting me as well, Crazy KZ.
Okay, bye bye everyone.
Bye.